We all know that relationships can be challenging sometimes, and we can look for support. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 6 crystals that I use to support healthy relationships. Hi, I'm Christine Dostie. I'm the founder and CEO of Sacred Vitality. I'm an energy healer, and I'm here to talk to you today about crystals. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button so you can get a new video every week, and hit that notification bell so you know when the new videos come. Okay, so let's get on with it. Crystals, they are amazing, and we can use their vibration to balance our energy. If you've been with me at all, you know that everything is energy. All of our interactions are energetic. We make an exchange, positive, negative, or neutral, and this is going on everywhere. There's always the ego level and the soul level, the subconscious and the conscious. And when we're talking about relationships, we're always bringing past stuff, inner child stuff, limiting patterns and beliefs, lenses through which we are observing and judging our interactions with other people. Things can get complicated very quickly when this is happening. So in order to help support this, I'm here to bring you 6 different crystals that can help you with your relationships. The first one we're going to talk about is a beautiful rose quartz. Back that up. There you go. Rose quartz in a heart form. Rose quartz is a master healer, and it is for self-love, inner healing, compassion, any of the inner child work. This is a great one, especially for the heart chakra, which is the center of love and healing. And I'm starting with rose quartz because, quite honestly, if you don't love yourself and you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, how are any of your other relationships going to stand a chance to be healthy? So we really want to work on our own inner story, our own thoughts, our own self-criticism, and how we're speaking, and treating yourself. And so working with that. And you can work with this crystal to change that negative internal dialogue and switch it to something positive, popular too, positive. So for example, if it's like, I'm so dumb, I always do this wrong, or I hate myself, or whatever it might be, you can hold the rose quartz and really just tune into, I'm learning every day. I'm making good choices for myself. I'm expanding. I'm a work in progress. I'm allowed to be a hot mess, right? So this is a great stone in your relationship, specifically when you're dealing with the conflict and the drama occurs because you don't love yourself enough, right? You don't accept that you're a hot mess, and probably the other person you're involved in is on some level a hot mess, because let's be honest, we all are. And just allowing that to have room and space in the relationship. So being able to accept people where they're at. It's also really helpful when that past stuff starts creeping in, and maybe you're not seeing the person before you and what's actually happening in the present moment, and you keep getting triggered by something that happened in the past that you haven't been able to let go of. Rose quartz can help you just bring yourself back to love and be able to release that criticism and let it go. Number 2 is Larimer. I love this beautiful softness. It's like they call it the dolphin crystal. It just harkens like beachy, surfy, relaxed, chill vibes. This is great for stress relief, compassion, sensitivity, patience, and any inner child work. I've also heard it called the parent-child crystal. Just brings a lot of energy of like, whoo, it's a fire and water crystal. And, on a healthy balance level, fire is our passion, what motivates us and drives us. But oftentimes in relationships, that passion can get triggered into out of control level where it becomes anger and it becomes resentment, and we're kind of protective, or we're feeling like we're not getting what we need. And so that response quickly turns into anger. And we start getting focused on the shoulds. You should be this way. I should be that way. I should do this. You should do that. Right. And then what happens from there is you're getting into story. you're deciding, your ego is getting involved and you're forgetting. It's very yang, right? Yang full, go, 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 do, 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 be, this way, that way, expectations. But that's the fire part of a Larimer, or a fire part of you. And the water aspect is what brings you down and remembers you to go beyond, and reminds you to go beyond the story and underneath into the essence. Why did you get together with this person in the first place? Where's the actual passion if you let go of the fear and the vulnerability, right? So in relationships, we're using this stone to help us gently release the self-imposed blockages that we have when we get really over-focused on the story or the form of how things are supposed to look or supposed to be. And we can balance the yin and yang and ease off a little bit and go back to the essence, right? We can just let things be playful, even as the dolphin stone aspect, right? Give space for playfulness so we can let go of the anger and we can get into creativity and see how we might have different solutions to our problems. So this stone is really good for the chakras of the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the solar plexus, which pulls in, all those elements of being able to express yourself, feeling your power in a balanced way, see things clearly. Okay, the next one is an emerald. Rough emerald. Doesn't need to be like super expensive emerald. This is a stone of successful love and relationships. It has a lot for compassion. It's green. So of course it's the heart chakra. It also pulls into the throat chakra because it's really going to help us bring the unconscious patterns to the surface so we can become consciously aware of them, but in a really loving and compassionate way. As I said, oftentimes we're bringing our past into our present relationships. And so this can confuse us into thinking that what's happening right now, because it reminds you of how that ex-boyfriend used to be your girlfriend or, this traumatic situation. And this feels a little like that. So then we bring all that baggage to it and decide maybe that that's how it is. But emerald, which has a lot of stone, it's like really helps you to cut those cords and let go of those old connections and bring the loyalty. I love the loyalty aspect of the energy of this stone. What are you loyal to in the relationship? Are you loyal to the person who's in front of you and trying to understand and figure it out? Or are you loyal to, the old stories and the way you used to be and how maybe you were hurt in the past? But just like with the balancing the passion in the Larimer, passion is a very strong motivating force, right? And when it's balanced and in alignment and in harmony, it's very energizing and allows creative energy and playfulness and fun and all the beautiful things we want in healthy relationships. When it becomes not in self-love, but based more in fear, a lot of the past stuff that comes in, it can become an obsession, right? Like you're really become narrowly focused on what's wrong in the relationship and what's not working, right? And then we're into your partner's more your adversary and not, now your partner is your problem. Whereas we want to be able to keep that loyalty that you and your partner are in it together and you're focused on whatever problem that you can solve, whatever knock you're currently experiencing, but not have it flow with the overall story of, I love this person and I want to work it out with this person, right? So that is the beautiful power of the emerald. Next, we have a citrine, which everyone loves to talk about abundance and money with citrine. And it's true. I mean, stones have their multi-purpose, just like we are, right? Multi-dimensional. But in this case, for a relationship, we're looking at citrine and using its medicine as strength and willpower and that confidence. And citrine is one of those stones that never needs to be cleansed and can actually cleanse other stones. So it has a lot of regenerative abilities. And this is great for the third eye, the solar plexus, and the crown chakra, to remind us of gratitude, to remind us to stay open and allow the gratitude to flow. It's a happy, joyous stone. It's really like, oh, I'm going to cleanse all this stuff and I'm going to regenerate, and reminds us that this is constantly actually happening in our relationships with ourselves and with other people. We are dynamic individuals. Even though every day might seem the same, it's not. We're always constantly changing and transforming and manifesting. So citrine is really asking you, are you allowing joy into this experience, or are you arguing for limitations, and are you looking for lack? When we're talking about relationships, we really want to look for joy and be happy and have that healthy balance, right? And that vitality that comes with it. So it tells you, you know, like, look, dude, it's okay. Take off the pressure of the expectation. Let's just, you know, slow down. Yes, there's a lot of willpower for sure, but if we're pushing and forcing ourselves or other people to meet certain standards or expectations, that's a short-term thing, right? Like, you're doing that over a long term, people are going to get sick of that. It's going to cause conflict. So with that one, I'd ask you just, you know, take it back and just allow yourself to attract the abundance. Allow it to come to you sometimes. Allow it to be easy. And it doesn't have to be hard all the time. You'll notice a lot of these stones are really like yin and yang balance, right? Like, relationships are always up and down. It's give and take. And sometimes those power dynamics, they just get thrown off, and maybe it happens once and then it happens again, right? And then it starts to become a habit, and then it becomes a crystallized pattern, which is why crystals can be so helpful in untangling those patterns and allowing the energy to smooth out gently, right? And over time. So number 5 is lapis lazuli. Now, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer. Lapis is not for, I want to be gentle, and, you know, that's rose quartz. You want the rose quartz, you want it to be gentle, you want playful, you want the Larimer, great. Lapis lazuli, when I think of this stone, and I always think of her as a her, she didn't take no shit. All right. She is here for a purpose. She knows her purpose. So sit up, get your shit together, and let's go. That's the energy that I always feel about lapis. She is a stone of communication. She wants you to speak your truth with no guilt, no blame, no like, I'm going to set a boundary and I'm not apologizing for it. Okay. This is what we're here to do, right? We're not fooling around. And she's great for protection. She's for the throat. She's for the third eye. Like, see things clearly and then say what you need to say. No muss, no fuss. So she's, you know, it doesn't have to be harsh at all, but she's like, you know, straighten your spine, dig in, put your big girl pants on, and do what you need to do to get what you need out of a relationship, to say what you need to say. So this is a great one for people who have a hard time saying no, and they say yes, and they don't want to say yes. And, you know, they don't want to hurt someone's feelings. They don't want to put somebody out. They feel like maybe it's too much or they're too much. And lapis is like, listen here, girl, let's talk for a second about your worth and your value. Straighten your crown and get out there and do what you need to do. We don't got time to wallow in the unworthiness, because you are worthy. That's her whole attitude and demeanor, right? She's like, we're here for expansion. We're here to serve the soul. We're here to do bigger things, grow, learn discernment, get into personal sovereignty, right? And make choices for yourself that you stand by. Love her energy. So that's why I include it in a relationship. Now, disclaimer again, don't use this to like overpower your partner and throw the balance of power the other way. Like, if you feel like you're in victim state or you're not communicating, sometimes we can go swing that pendulum too far the other way, and then we become the dominator, right? And we want the balance. So just enough to say what you need to say to get what you need out of the relationship. And then finally, I add the sunstone, another little fun stone. This is great for vitality, self-esteem, the work-life balance, and basically just optimism, right? This is the 3 bottom chakras. So the root one, the sacral, and the solar plexus. Again, this one is for the worthiness. There's always, but this one has more of the dynamic of this one's great for people that look for external validation from other people. And they feel like they need that in order to feel like they have worth. And so what ends up happening with this one is a lot of caretaker energy, right? Like you're giving your energy to other people, you're making sacrifices, this is a stone for if you're currently in a relationship dynamic where you're doing all the things and you don't feel supported, and you're also not making time for yourself because you don't have time, or you don't give yourself permission to, or when you take the time, you feel guilty about it, or even when you try to take the time, you don't know what to do with it. So it's better to just fold laundry and, do all the little tasks and just keep going all the time, but you're super burned out. So this one is super great for reminding you, give yourself permission, slow down, get vital, put some music on, do a little dance, right? Like life is a joyful experience. Where's the gratitude? Where is what you're enjoying in your life? And with relationships, oftentimes I find personally is that we get, caught in these patterns, and then there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of blame, there's a lot of tit for tat, and we forget about being playful. We forget about having fun and giving each other a break and saying what we need to say without feeling attacked and without feeling like we need to attack, right? And so these 6 stones, the rose quartz, the Larimer, the emerald, the citrine, the lapis lazuli, and the sunstone, I find are great ones to help with communication, balance the emotional energy so that you can see clearly and say what you need to say clearly, and keep the love and the compassion and the forgiveness involved in the conversation, which for me contributes to healthy relationships and healthy dynamics. If you find that you are struggling with relationships, I'll drop a link below. Sign up for a relationship clearing. They're an excellent way to just clear off all of that energy and reset contracts and vows and cut cords and just do all the energetic things that help promote healthy relationships. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.